Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I hope everybody is fine. The rain didn't disturb anybody.
Sir, not that we know, but I think we are all fine. In regards to the
Oh,
rain.
okay.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. The rains nowadays is becoming more than a terrorist. It's kind of terrorizing people
Mm.
everywhere. And now being at home is not even dangerous than even find yourself outside.
Mm.
Like maybe you're driving and start raining.
Then you are scared.
Yeah. Because almost the entire car everywhere is flooding, so we don't know. Now people are scared to go out there because sometimes you get trapped and where you find yourself, maybe it's flooding is happening. Then you so we have how many now? We are myself and so we are seven now.
Yes, sir. 7 people have collected, remaining 10.
Gee, so what do we do?
So I've prompted them on the WhatsApp page to kindly connect because the class has begun. So we
Okay.
can just give them like 5 minutes to.
Next weekend is your last class, eh?
Yes, please, face to face.
I know.
I think, sir, no, I think after that, we have another one online.
Or after the face to face.
And so basically, I'm confirming. Uh, um,
But I thought your last class is I think on the 14th or so. That's what I think.
so,
After face to face revision.
after face-to-face revision, then we wait 2 weeks for exams.
So
And so the revision week will be our last online class, right? Yes.
anyway, if the lecture is done, don't think it's fair for the lecture. Okay, maybe the face-to-face class,
Mm,
then the revision week will also not be face-to-face. So I think it's equally fair.
sure, yeah.
But if the lecturers say come and meet him face-to-face again, that means people have to be traveling again. That one
Mm,
is not fair.
mm.
Okay. So this is your last schedule, right? The second semester people.
Yes, please.
And I hope you people are working on your project work. Or that one, do you need extra 5 months?
So we need extra 1 month more.
Maybe yet to call for your questions for the exam. The exam date is when?
Say 4th and 5th of July.
Then look at it, this semester is a bit that this kind of model is a bit lengthy, or because the
Uh,
ones we know, like, is it not 4 meetings?
yeah, 4 meetings. So I think when they increased this one to three, and then that was when they prolonged the duration for us. And
Um,
I think some of us too made a complaint that the duration was too short because of the three
uh,
courses. Yes, please.
okay.
So they had to increase the duration for us.
See, How? Anyway, that is okay because your graduation is in December, right? Or November?
So 28 November. That is the proposed date.
We are going to graduate. We are not going to get married, so we don't propose to it.
So only if nothing happens to the academic calendar for it to be revised.
Anyway, yeah, because sometimes
It keeps changing.
yeah.
Mm.
Oh, you seem like it's this kind of teething problem that you have when you start programs and it is fresh. Even though the university has been in existence for a while, we know that M-level program has been run by Coventry for some time, and therefore their model was what we were using. So now that we internalize it, we will have that teething challenges and we will get over it. So don't worry, yours is a bit better.
Okay, sir.
Because those who graduated, they rather, especially the MA programs and those we know, the graduation was postponed without even any, like it notified them that it has postponed to further notice and it took them forever. So try and finish all of you should try and finish and get off the program because you see, when we start programs, sometimes the early birds benefit. And if you look at GTEC's own conversation now, it will get to some time. The program that's supposed to be 1 year, maybe they might kind of extend it because they think it's a distant learning program and distant learning should be at least 18 months or so. So you guys should work around the clock and just get your thesis done and get off the program before they bring new rules and it becomes a whole lot of problem. Because in Ghana, people just take decisions and it becomes binding to everybody. Meanwhile,
Okay.
if you ask the real reason why those decisions were taken, okay, so today we will look at social media lesson and sentiment analysis. It is not new. The only new thing is that we are trying to formalize it. And in most cases, what do we see? We have instances where people have acted based on what is happening on social media. Countless examples about that. The one I remember is when they I think was the primary healthcare thing, right? And they use these tricycles as one of the conveyor belts for maybe the community nurses to get to the hinterland and be able to take care of people. Then social media went like, it is an ambulance. You remember that? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Do you
Yes, sir.
remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the president has to use a different occasion to talk about that. It is not an ambulance and it is not like what people are saying. What was the president doing? He was responding to sentiment. And that is what is part of things that social media has brought to us. So when you listen and also analyze what is going on in the social media space, then you have to act as an organization, because if you don't act, that becomes maybe what they say it is. And sometimes it leads to a situation where the brand will be suffering. Because there are a whole lot of people who put quite things that they don't even understand on social media. And sometimes we've all witnessed that even on WhatsApp. What do we see? We see people come and damage a particular brand, that this brand is coming from this country, it is dangerous and people have died because of that. If you are the owners of the brand, you don't have to sit aloof and think that, oh, it will die down. If you don't take a damage the organization, the brand reputation, and it takes you forever to rebuild. So based on the fact that we have social media and what social media is telling us to do, and people also own action on social media. Example, we use the co-brush, consumption creation. These are the key things that will help people to make sure that they kind of have to respond to the brand. So there are certain serious brands you see that they are very active on social media in terms of their responses to issues that are coming. So today we have to look at it that you cannot just let it go. Sentiment has become part of us, and therefore we need to look at it. So the focus is we have to look at what social listening and online monitoring is, then sentiment analysis and consumer insights, then brand reputation and crisis management, then social listening tools and trend forecasting. So these are the critical areas we have to look at today in regards to that. And in the overlook who are in there. But now it is becoming far more aggressive, and therefore companies need to care more than those who say they care. So nobody wants to invest in his or her brand and let the brand die out because of social sentiment. You need to look at the sentiment and you need to address the sentiment. So we have to look at social listening and monitoring techniques, sentiment analysis and customer insight, and reputation and crisis management and trend forecasting and predictive insight are the key things we have to look at. And with the objective, we explain what social listening concepts and practices are. Then we also analyze sentiment data and consumer insight and understand online reputation management strategy. Evaluate the crisis communication approaches, then also in order to stay, and we have quite a problem. So we all know what listening is, right? As a class, we all know what listening is. This has been with us for years. When mommies talk, you say, when I talk, you listen. When authority talks, it's the same thing. When I talk, you listen. So listening is one of the critical things in human communication. However, when it comes to social media, yes, you are listening in terms of sentiment, but there are sometimes listening become what also reading. Because if it's a Facebook post and it is about text, even though you are doing social listening, you are what reading the post. What I want to say from the onset is that listening is one of the critical things in human life. And it is not by accident that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. If God wants us to talk plenty, we should have been given 2 mouths and 1 ear. But because God wants us to listen, That is why he said we have to have for 2 years and 1 month. So good people who are critical and analytical listen a lot. But when you patronize people, whatever they want to say, you will miss their point. So you come and be able is being said. So on the social media front, social listening refers to a process of monitoring digital conversations, analyzing products, competitors, and industries. So the practice is that about our product or about our brand, or what is the state of competition and what is the comparative analysis that is being done between ourselves and that of the competition, or what has been the industrial norm. So that discussion is what you listen. And why are we listening? We want to listen because we want to be ahead of the competition. If we are not ahead of the, if we don't want to be ahead of the competition, then you say, I don't care about whatever they say. Let them say it, and I'll be in peace. Later, it will come back to hurt you because you see, when the reputation is damaged, when the brand reputation is damaged, it takes a longer time to rebuild. There are certain instances that brand can never survive unless probably they have to abandon the brand, change the name, and later relaunch it as a new product. Because that reputation is gone. And when it is gone, it is far more difficult to address it. So when you say social listening, it goes beyond just simply tracking mentions, like on social media, how many times people have mentioned us, by focusing on understanding the audience attitude, behavior, and emotions. In social media, there are a lot of emotions going on in there. And sometimes some of the emotions you ask yourself whether are they being real or what, are they being realistic? And in social communication, especially when it comes to e-political marketing, we all saw what happened in the country when we were closer to the election. Each and everyone was saying something. People became so emotional. And when people become so emotional about certain happenings, like in political space, it tells you that you are going, like the ruling party is going to opposition. It's as simple as that. No matter the magic you can do or whatever it is, if the sentiment is negative, things that we have, or there has been a bone of contention between two competing, like there has been a bone of contention between two competing brands, and therefore the target market are doing active comparison between the two brands, then you have to make sure that you look at it and you act on time. When it is too late, it is gone. Let's take a digital platform out and let's talk about product market. Let me use two products, Omo and Ariel. Those of us who are being older enough knows that Omo used to actually dominate the washing detergent market. And the brand had a very strong, what we call inroads in terms of brand recall. So even the product might not be Omo, it's coming from a foreign market. But when people see the kids used to call it white Omo and all those things, because the washing powder is white. Omo that time was blue. But when they see, they call it white Omo. Why? Because the brand resonated a lot with them. But Omo static in terms of brand loyalty, because that's what everybody can recall when we talk about washing detergents. Then Area was introduced into the market. When Area was introduced, better product performance in terms of functionality, in terms of even the flavor that when you use it to wash your clothes, it comes with and all those things. People started shifting from Omo to Ariel. Unilever at that time decided to do what we call mobile defense strategy in marketing, strategic marketing, by trying to improve the product and added different additives to the product in order to make the product functionality increase. But the harm has already been done. And they tried several times. They couldn't succeed. So later you see they have to even turn around and come and launch Sunlight washing powder. I don't know whether it was lined to compete with Omo or whatever, but the idea is that when your market share is taken, it is very difficult to get it back. So always you need to do things that will resonate with your consumer or your target market, because when they decide to shift, even if they decide to come back, not all of them will come back. So you lose some market share. What are we saying here? Social media is very active in terms of, especially when it comes to the negative news. So always we have to be on our guard and make sure that we are able to respond accordingly when there are things that is of matter of concern to us. So with social listening, it has become essential because consumers continuously share opinions online. Remember, COBRAs, consumption, contribution, and creation. People will just look at it, they will not say anything, they are just consuming the message. There are some people, they will create the message for you, they will create the content for you based on their experience with the brand. And if you don't take it, that becomes what it is. So in a situation where it is negative, it's going to affect you. So you have to embark on social listening, because the benefit will like to let you to understand the customer perception about the brand, identify emerging trends that is happening, because they compare a lot. Oh, this restaurant is good, but when you go this place, the way they greet you and all those things makes them far better. You realize that human, in such analogy, you realize that human interaction becomes the driver for customer satisfaction. So if you are listening, then you have to retrain your people and let them also respond accordingly. But if you say, oh, for us, our food is good, why the conversation has changed from the taste of the food to human interaction, and you are not listening because you think you have best food, you will lose the market. So you need to understand the customer perception. What the customer perceives you to be is very important. Then identify emerging trends. Like I said, the analogy I gave about the food joint. If the emerging trend is like nice woman, like very quality human interaction, but not even the food, then you know that it's an emerging trend that you need to follow. In those days, product markets, you realize that salespeople, when they travel to different distribution outlets, which doesn't belong to the company, but they are just middlemen, they look at what the competition is also doing there and use that as a yardstick to advise marketing Now, when we went there, we saw that they are changing all their point of sale materials. That's our competitors. You need to act. So likewise, when you hear some of these things happening on social media, you don't go back to sleep. You have to you have to be current to know the emerging trends. Then you monitor a competition. Like one example I can give again is first, people sell their items, especially maybe kinky seller or whatever. They were not interested in having electronic wallets in terms of maybe mobile payment systems in place, because if you want to buy something, come get your wallet, like take money from your pocket or wallet, then buy it, or your purse and buy it and go away. But then gradually they realize that people are shifting away from the kind of physical cash into electronic cash. And therefore, the moment we say now every serious food joint you go, there's number displayed there that you can pay with it. If people have decided that they will not do that, you realize that people will go where those facilities are available and you lose the market. So you monitor also the competition, what is going on, then it will help you to improve customer experience, because when the customers are, it is very good, like I said, in marketing, there are two things that we look at. Why? And I said the why could be negative or positive. The negative why, if we know, it's far easier to sometimes deal with, because that one we know is negative. But the positive why is even where it's more challenging, because you don't know even why they are patronizing your service. And if you don't conduct research to find out why and improve the why, somebody will find out why they are buying, and they will improve the why by setting up a competing brand. And by the time you realize, you are out of business. So customer experience, no matter how positive it is, you still have to find a way to improve it, and also detect potential crisis early. Because if you are monitoring actively, when there's crisis coming in, you will be able to know. Then it's also support strategic decision making, because we know that people even don't like the product package and they are complaining about it. We will be able to work around it. Like a brand like Fruity, and if at that time there was social media, I think the brand wouldn't have even collapsed, because people will actually know the sentiment about their packaging, which was the key reason why people decide not to patronize the product. So these are the things that we have to understand. And when it comes to monitoring, we look at how many times we are mentioned, is it negative or positive? What are their comments, and a direct interaction with us? Focus on what? Immediate engagement, because once we are monitoring what is happening, there are some people who can pass a comment that we need to respond to. Then social listening, we kind of analyze the broader conversation and trend that is happening. Then we focus on strategic insight and decision making, so that will help us in be able to be ahead of the competition. Because like I told you, there must be a compelling reason why people should buy from you, but not the other organization or not company B. So when you listen more and you analyze more, it will help you in taking strategic decisions, especially the listening. So what are the sources of social listening data? It is easy online. Blogs and news articles could be a source of what people are saying about us. Online reviews, very, very important. I explained to you what online reviews is. It's like more or less like making a verdict on your experience with the brand. So these reviews are very important. Don't say afterwards, we will not allow people to review our service. Okay, they'll go to where they can review, because people, when they want to even interact with the brand, they go to the review column first, then see whatever is happening. Is it negative or is positive? If it is positive, you see there is a motivation for them to engage with the brand. Facebook, X, or TikTok, all these platforms, it is something that is with us. We pick our phone and sometimes we look at some of them and we laugh. But if it is a trend in terms of the way people are looking at it, then it has to raise concern, especially if it is negative. There must be concern. Whoever runs like managing that brand will be concerned. So it is not by accident that we hear companies coming to the main traditional medium to maybe issue a disclaimer or talk about explaining things on a broader context, especially if the brand is not being damaged by unscrupulous kind of people who are not even better customers to us, but that's what they can do to you. So these are the platforms, like the sources that you can get information that you need to look at and act on it. Then online monitoring involves continuously tracking digital activities and conversation. So monitoring activities are brand mentioning, tracking. How many people mention our brand? Keyword monitoring. How many people are talking about our keywords that we use? Maybe distance education. That's the keyword. Maybe it's distance education and master's level. We have 3 keywords here. These ones we have to track and see what people are talking about, whether it is really what we stand for. Then the hashtag tracking is also there. Remember hashtag, they say Facebook, hashtag fix the country and all those things. They are not things that you have to take for granted. Sentiment, when it becomes too powerful, when sentiments become too powerful, it can create a lot of problems. You know what happened that led to the Arab Spring. North Africa, a gentleman who has finished school cannot have work to do, got frustrated because he was selling some, I think it was fruits that he was selling on the table by the roadside. And the authority said, you cannot sell there. The guy said, I'm frustrated, went, buy fuel, pour it on himself and light himself up. Then people start complaining and the video went viral through YouTube. Well, that time YouTube was actually the most active kind of online streaming platform that we have. Then all of a sudden, the youth start agitating, then it led to the overthrow of the government, which the president has to run away from the country. So it was a negative sentiment that triggered the whole process. And based on that, it affected all the North African countries. It affected all of them because that sentiment transcends beyond borders. And therefore they say, okay, fine, these people are bold. So if we think that our leaders are like that, then we have to go after them. So it's the same thing. Brands can be rejected based on some of these issues. So you need to always make sure that you monitor and see what is happening. Then you use customer feedback analysis also. Are they complaining all the time? If customers are complaining all the time and you have evidence to that effect, you need to act. Because the only way you can measure customer satisfaction is like minimal customer complaints and also positive kind of customer feedback that you get. That will tell you whether customers are satisfied by your product or not. In some cases, they will not say anything. And if you don't probe, you think that, oh, our customers are cool with us. Yes, they are. But to get to some time, you realize that they are not. They are looking for alternatives. So continuous monitoring will help firms respond quickly to the issues. It's not about what we do here. There are certain brands, when you even send them cover information about product features, it takes maybe 3 days. That is not good enough. You need to always make sure that you are able to monitor and respond to it. Do we understand it, please?
Yes, sir, we understand.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So consumers actively discuss brands online through reviews and ratings. We have already explained reviews. Social media comments will also talk about, because to me, yes, people can be mischievous, but I cannot have about 1,000 people saying negative thing about the brand and they say it is just a setup. Maybe there's something wrong with it, because like I don't see how like I have a positive experience about the brand, but rather go and talk about negative experience about the brand. What reward system will I get for doing that? So as much as yes, people can play the mischief, we have to always understand that when people are commenting negatively, it's not about that somebody is setting up anything. You need to go into it. Then, if you love your brand, that's what you do. Then the product discussion, people will discuss the products, and that's it. Because there are some people, they put the brand online, but they don't create a discussion platform for them, forum for people to discuss. Well, people positive word of mouth, that is the electronic word of mouth, e-worm, is very, very active now. And people, like I said, are more interested in what people say than what you say you will do. So the comments are very, very important. Then influencer content is also part of it. The community forums are all part of consumer conversation that happen. And sometimes they have when people get frustrated is where the problem is. Then, especially where you promise them that much and it is not happening, and they start picking you on, know that they are rejecting the brand. And if you don't act appropriately, it becomes a problem. So this conversation shape public perception and purchasing decisions. So you have to listen to that discussions that goes on in there. Now this is sentiment analysis. We use AI to analyze it because there are, like I said, analytic tools that are available, and search engine optimization course will tell you about some of these analytic tools that we can use. The analytic tools will help you in knowing what public sentiments about. And we say NLP, that is a natural language processing, and machine learning that can be used to analyze emotions and opinions expressed in digital content. People dislike maybe the product or brand. People are saying negative thing about it. Just like when you do qualitative research, there are instances where you have to, we have something we call saturation point. If people have used maybe non-performance, and about 50 people are saying it, we end let's say, even typical qualitative research, we interview about 25 people, and about 15 of them are saying non-performance of the products in terms of functionality. We've reached what we call saturation point, and therefore non-performance become one of the key thematic areas we need to analyze. So that is it. We can use machine to learn people's emotions. People who talk about, who are interested in neuromarketing look at, they use emotional expressions and what goes into the mind to analyze human sentiment, whether they like the digital marketing campaign or not. So we can monitor and be able to use it to address the issues. It helps the firm understand whether online discussions are positive, negative, or neutral. So when it is neutral, what does it mean? if you're a marketer and the online discussion about your product is neutral, what does it mean?
Either positive and negative.
It's either positive or negative. And what will you do? Yes, what will you do? Or you don't know what to do?
You need to pay critical attention to the negative comments so that you revert. You put in the work so that, yeah.
No, if it is negative, it is negative. If it is positive, it is positive. But if it is neutral, what will you do? Hello? You are a manager. People seem indifferent about what you do out there. Will you be happy?
No, sir.
Why will you not be happy?
Because you expect to satisfy what the end
Yeah,
users
because you
want.
don't know, yes, you don't know the level of their satisfaction or otherwise. And therefore, that's potentially dangerous because when people are neutral, in marketing, there is something we call switching costs. That is the cost that the person will incur in switching from one particular brand to the other. It is not money. It's about the certain things that you do that will let them stay. So if they are neutral, you need to drive customer motivation. If you just say, oh, they are not complaining, so that's okay. The day they will complain, it will be too late. So, like I said, the marketing, finding out why is very, very important. So common sentiment categories come in what? Positive sentiment, negative sentiment, or neutral sentiment. An advanced system may also identify emotions such as happiness, anger, frustration, excitement, and trust. You know, police have arrested quite a couple of people based on anger on social media. Have you heard that before?
No.
You have never heard the anger that I'm talking about is not anger like I'm just walking and I'm angry. It's based on that police arrest me. Based on my anger, I've said certain things against maybe authority. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yes, please. Yes.
Because like there's some people, they will even go like displaying guns and other things, like they are so angry to extent that their utterances will land them in trouble. So yes, how were they arrested? They were arrested based on like the sentiment and the frustration they show on social media, and based on that their own action. You remember the students that the school says they are sacking them because they insulted the president.
Yes.
Yeah. So such a situation, this is what kind of a negative sentiment driven towards the president, who is not actually responsible for their frustration. But then in Ghana, everything is supposed to be done like it's the president problem. I go to school, I couldn't get food to eat. But a headmaster is sitting down, but I go to insult another person. You see, so consumers, one way or the other, when they are frustrated, they will show it. When they are excited too, they will show it. Because it's human nature, it comes by itself. So we have to be able to do that based on advanced features. There are certain words you write and straight away people know that you are angry. Or you can say things calmly, but people can read meanings into it and say, no, you are angry. So yes, when there is trust, you can see. When there's frustration, you can see. Some of these things you don't have to ignore it, because if you ignore it, it will come back to haunt you. Then how does the sentiment analysis really work? Sentiment analysis system examine keywords and phrases that is used. Keywords like ultimate performance, like seamless experience, some of these things, you know that yes, people are excited about the brand and they talk about it, especially when they are not more or less influencers paid to do that, but rather they are individuals who have a genuine experience about the product and they are talking about it. Then emojis and reactions. We all know what emojis are, right? Do we know? Hello?
Hello, Doc. Yeah, we know emojis.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So who can describe any of them for me? Can somebody describe any of emojis for me, like what it means?
Yeah, emojis are expressions in a cartoon form or in an what should I say cartoon? Yes, in a drawing form.
Okay.
So the expression can be excitement, it can be sad, it can be fire, it can be like
Even tears and other things that
tears and
happen.
other things. Yes, sir.
So that is the emojis and reactions help. Tone and language patterns are also very, very important because people, like human beings, are natural people, unless those who have been paid to fake things. If a person is frustrated, you could see that that person is frustrated. You don't need anybody to tell you. The tone of voice and everything will show that it is. Even we have instances where people, let's use our local kind of experience. Somebody has stolen maybe my laptop, and I say, well, the person who has stolen the laptop, God bless that person. Everybody knows that what I'm saying is not about blessing us like what we know from elementary definition of blessing, but rather it's a curse. So, like I said, the tone and the language pattern will also be there. The contextual meaning is also there. The person has stolen something. I say, God bless the person. Automatically, it's the other way out. So, AI algorithm process large volumes of social media data in real time, and it can tell you what are the sentiments that you have, because sentiments are very, very important. If you get it wrong, you will not be able to analyze the situation. Then what are the key benefits? You understand the customer attitudes based on that sentiment analysis. It will improve your customer satisfaction, because if they are dissatisfied, you change the way you interact with them, and also what frustrates them, you improve upon it. Then they will be able to understand you and therefore come back home. Then evaluate the campaign effectiveness based on the campaign that we launched. Buy one, get one free. What has been the sentiment in terms of the product availability? They are aware of buy one, get one free, but sometimes the product itself, the one that you are buying, you will not get, not alone to get the other one for free. So they become frustrated, and therefore they will evaluate the campaign and say, look, these people, they are scammers, because they know that the product is not even there, and they are saying that they take brand perception issues and also support product development. So when we do this analysis and the product is falling short of certain kind of performance, you know, and you'll be able to improve upon it. Now, consumer insight from social media listening. Consumer insights will refer to a deep understanding of the consumer preference, motivations, and behavior. And in marketing, we are always excited if the consumer is excited. And we look at the things that consumer is excited about. Then we use it to always improve our situation. These are the key things that we do in marketing. So if we realize that, oh, when we introduce after sales service, the conversation has been positive, we know that the consumer insight is telling us that after sales service is very important. Maybe free delivery. So we improve upon it. Then also with the digital space, personalized communication is easy to be able to get. So when you, like we say, happy birthday, Ken, thank you for being with us. Is there anything we can help to improve as you have been our loyal customer? Ken will be more at ease to actually give us insight and even recommend things that we have to do in order to be able to still stay in the competition. So here, Ken insight is given to us in order to be able to get the customer excited. There are certain instances where people can ask this question. So what about if what Ken is saying is not the truth? In terms of Ken is not happy with us. If Ken is not happy to us, happy for what, like he's not happy with us because of what we're doing, there's a way to just know that this is Ken's sentiment. There are some times where consumers decide to hide information, but we marketers, if we need the information, there are certain techniques we know that we can use. Like example is this personalized communication I'm talking about. I will not say, Ken, how do you feel about our product and anything? No. I'll rather use kind of a third-party approach by saying that what are people saying about us, Ken? And that one, Ken will try to give me his sentiment, but he will attribute it to somebody else. So they say the company is this, they say the company is that, all negative. And the way they are talking about it, I myself, I'm surprised. So, but you people need to do something about it. It is a way of also extracting information from the customer by letting him feel at ease, him or her feel at ease, so that they'll be able to give you more. But at that particular time, even though there's interaction between the two of you, he don't see himself as like he is the one giving you that sentiment, but he's attributing it to somebody else, and therefore you will be able to get that. So you can pose that, what are people like, how do people think about our product? What are people saying about our product, but not you? Then whatever they think, they will tell you. What they are human beings, and human beings have all kind of biases that they display, especially when it is in disguise. So you will be able to get whatever is needed. So the insight will also identify unmet customer needs and also predict future consumer behavior. If they say, oh, everybody is saying that the way the thing is, the brand is not doing well, like the brand is not performing like the way you promised that it to perform. If you are smart enough, you have to know that the future is not palatable, so you have to look at it again. So with audience behavior analysis, consumer interest, species intention, preferred communication style, brand loyalty levels, and online engagement patterns. Social listening help firms understand this. And these are all what we call dependent variables. We can look at consumer communication ability and its purchase intention, or maybe organization's channel of communication and consumer interest, or organizations' platforms and preferred communication style. All these things are variables that we can use if we are doing a quantitative study. So behavioral insight to improve targeting strategies. Market targeting is one of our key drivers. Why is it one of our key drivers? Because those of you who have done marketing management and even principles of marketing, you hear of segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So first we segment the market. Now, after selecting the segment, now we need to develop our marketing mix variable and send it to the market. So we create a product, we price it, we show how we distribute it, we promote it. If the service, people, process, and physical evidence will come in. So targeting is one of the key things that we do. And in targeting, we have what we call differentiated, undifferentiated, and concentrated targeting. In marketing management class, that is what it is. Differentiated targeting, we target the market using separate marketing mix variables. So like example I can give is, let's say Nestle and Milo. They have what we call differentiated targeting, because if you look at the pack sizes, they are not the same. People with larger family go for the volume pack, while those who are maybe I live alone, I'll go for a sachet because I cannot buy that volume pack and let it be there for that long. So that is differentiated targeting. So here, the product is almost all right, but the pack sizes has changed. It is packaging which can be used as a segment. When it comes to undifferentiated, that is where we lump all the market together as one. And that is the most dangerous of all, because you are practicing what we call mass market system, which will not help you. If consumer preferences are different, they will leave you. Then concentrated targeting, after segmenting the market, we just pick one segment and we forget about the rest and we move on. So now they say competitive intelligence. Organizations use social listening to monitor competitors. And there is something we call marketing information systems. That is coming from elementary marketing way back. And the marketing information system actually look at how to get data and use that data to gain insights as to the behavior of the market. So it is a quadrant, and under the quadrant, we have internal systems, we have marketing intelligence system, then we have decision support system, they have market research systems. These are the 4 thematic areas that we have them. So internal analysis, we've got to do with what information we have in there. The market research, we look at specific marketing problem that we want to solve, and therefore we are going to collect data, either use secondary data or primary data to deal with that. The marketing intelligence system is where the competitor analysis will come in. You need to have a system to collect information about the competition. Don't say, for me, I'm doing my job, so I'm just concentrating on my brand. You need to find a way to deal with that. For now, marketing intelligence is saying that the global automobile company, especially in markets that don't have strong purchasing power capability, the Chinese companies are making a lot of inroads out there. And it's a fact. The way the Americans or maybe the British and other people will not buy Chinese-made vehicles in country where there's no strong purchasing power and also there's no any better credit system. People, they are making a lot of inroads in here, especially Africa. And market watchers are worried about the future of the automobile industry, because like in the UK, having a car is not something that is fun. You don't see even richer people buying cars and like they see it as luxury. No. So in those places, you hardly see people displaying car or like driving a particular car and they say they have arrived. You don't see them that way. In the US, yes, because of the UK have more an effective transport system than the US. So in US, you are like forced to own a car. Well, there are certain jobs in the US, if you want to like you chase a job and you don't drive, they will not give you, but they will tell you you come to work late and all. They don't have that system, like especially in London, where the bus systems are very effective, the train systems are very effective. So what it means is that the African market that is becoming that is more or less a virgin market with a stronger potential, they are gradually taking over. And there are certain traditional cars that we used to see. Now you hardly see them. So it tells you that if your market intelligence system is not working, and you think that the market is continuing to be there for BMW, for any other brands like Volvo and all those things, you need to think twice. Proper marketing system have to have effective competitor analysis so that you know what is playing out within the market, industry trend, what has been the state of the industry. I will tell you that you did digital marketing management. I don't know whether you tackle Porter's 5 forces, but Porter's 5 forces is a tool that is used to analyze the state of competition in an industry. Buyer entry, threat of substitute, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of the customers, and rivalry among the existing players within the market. Buyer power and all those variables are there to tell you about the state of competition in the industry. So you cannot use that 5 forces to analyze the state of competition between, let's say, GCTU and Central University. You are wrong, because they are 2 different companies. But if you want to use that 5 forces framework, then you are using it to analyze maybe the state of competition in tertiary education market. And therefore, each and every company that is part of tertiary education is part of that kind of assessment. So that's why they say threat of entry. That means how many companies can enter that market, or how many schools can be like established within the tertiary education market. That is how it is. But if you say you are doing threat of entry between GTUC and Central University, you are missing the point. Strategic marketing will tell you, strategic management will tell you that that tool is used to analyze the state of competition in an industry, but not 2 companies. Do we understand it, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, so based on that, I have just one question. Very interesting question, but what is a substitute product? Who can tell us? Example of a substitute product. Hello.
Say Coca-Cola and Pepsi.
Okay, who else?
iPhone and Samsung.
Lord.
Okay, and who else again? Somebody said Omo or
Yes.
Yeah,
you said what?
Ariel.
Omo and Ariel. So if you mark yourself with like over 10, Ken, you get how many?
In progress.
So I'll get 10.
You get 10.
Yes.
And Lord will get what? Or you are not sure?
I'm
I
not sure
also
about
get
this
10.
answer.
If I have to mark, as a matter of fact, like because maybe you use your pen to write, I'll give you 1/10. All of you.
How?
Hey, say how?
You see, the question is what? Example of substitute products. Is that not the case?
Yes, please.
I didn't ask about example of competing products.
Hey,
Hello.
hello, sir. We are actually even confused.
Hello,
We are
sir.
here.
Sir,
Your,
I get the question. Hello, sir.
can you hear Francis? I cannot hear you. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Sir,
Yeah, I
we
didn't
can
hear
hear you.
you. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
mine is let's say Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola introducing Coca-Cola, is it light or something? That a Coca-Cola light. That one zero sugar or something.
You said we didn't hear me. I didn't hear anything. What I hear sugar or something.
Okay, so I'm saying that Coca-Cola drink.
Yeah.
They realize that people are complaining there's too much sugar, so they brought Coca-Cola Zero.
But it's the same Coca-Cola. And they
Yes,
are
please.
competing each other. I say a substitute product, Francis.
So let me try and
Okay.
see. So
Tea
I
and
think
coffee.
that give you the same thing, like the same maybe function or service. So that
I didn't.
it's not
Okay,
mostly
please go ahead.
maybe like a brand or something that you are used to. But if you go and the price is still high, you can switch to another one, which will equally give you what you need from the product.
So, example.
Tea and coffee.
Milk and carnation.
You said which and which, please.
Ideal
Tea
milk.
and coffee.
Then
Lord, allow Fafa to answer the question, Lord.
It's not Lord who is speaking, no.
Hey.
Why they my top like that?
Papa is saying that ideal milk and then carnation milk.
this is also, I think, threat of some kind of like this is not marketing management. You realize that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's coming from this kind of elementary definitions that we have over years. And that's what is creating the problem. Like you ask class, what is culture? People say it is a way of life. How can culture be a way of life? So if somebody is an armed robber, is it a culture? You see that, but we use it from this elementary definition from maybe GHS and has become part of us. A substitute product is a product that is not meant for its original kind of use, but you are improvising. So if you say Homo and Ariel, whatever, it is meant for the same purpose, and therefore we call it competing product. But if we say, let's say sugar and honey, the purpose of sugar is quite different from that of honey. And therefore we are what? Improvising. But you bringing in honey instead of what? Sugar, which is there for the original purpose. Are you understanding me, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is the essence of substitute product. So don't go anywhere and say substitute product and you go and mention, maybe it's English language, but you go and mention this kind of examples, it doesn't really ring a bell. maybe we took it from football, because football, a player is a player, and the language is the player has been substituted by another player. So maybe that's where it's also coming from. I don't know, but I think it's economics where they used to talk about alternative pricing, and they use Milo and Bonvita as a major example that have been used over years. But substitute products are not a product meant for its particular purpose. In terms of, like, you say, let's say, what do we call it? Palanquin, the one that they use to carry chiefs or maybe spirit. Yeah. If somebody decides to use a horse, then he's improvising. Are you getting me? But the traditional setup of palanquin is for that particular purpose. But for the horse, it is not something that it is our tradition, and therefore it is an improvisation, but not the same thing. That's how it is. Or maybe a chief, instead of he being in like in that palanquin, decide to use a car to just wave people. It is being substituted. It's not the same. So substitute products are products that's not meant for that particular purpose, but due to maybe scarcity or whatever, it could be improvised. You see, because I remember we did a case study where the leader of Coca-Cola in Europe, when they asked him about what is his worry, he said his worry is about companies that produce water. Why? Because he realized that in those days, people used to consume these carbonated drinks alongside food. But now they are being conscientized to now use water, and therefore water is not carbonated drink. And therefore there's a difference. So the market is being substituted by another product, and that was his worry. He was not worried about people that will compete with him in that carbonated market by a different thing. So always look at it from that perspective. Is that okay, please? Hello, Ken.
Hello, sir.
Can you people hear me?
Sir, my network went off. It just connected. I don't even know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I think the rest could hear you.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Now, if you cannot hear me, please prompt me so that
Okay, sir, sure.
I will not just be talking, and I sit here alone talking, and people can say, so who are you talking to?
Okay, sir, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So yes, industry trend is very, very important. You have to get that intelligence and customer complaints and gaps. What you say you produce or you offer, if we are not offering in the customers are complaining, that means there's a gap between the actual service delivery and the customer expectation or your own kind of promise. And you need to close that gap, because if not, people will take the services somewhere. Now, brand reputation management. What is a brand? Who can tell us what a brand is? Hello, what is a brand?
So it's either a name or a symbol that identify a company's products.
Yeah, identify, yes. It could be a name, color, logo.
Yes, please.
That then differentiate one particular company from the other. So brand reputation refers to how consumers perceive the brand online. Oh, they saw it is Rolex. Oh, well, we know Rolex. It's Sunny. We know Sunny. It's Apple. That's the reputation, the perceived value that the customer places on the product. So strong digital reputation improve customer trust, brand loyalty, competitive advantage, and business sustainability. It is very key. Customer trust, when the brand has got that strong perceived value, the customer will trust the brand. They will be loyal to it. The brand will gain competitive advantage, and also the business will be sustainable. Business will be sustainable in such a way that there's continuity for trading because the brand is stable. People are not switching, and therefore we hope to trade in the future. So what are the factors that can affect online reputation? You know, online reputation is quite slippery. Anything can happen. So it can be influenced by customer reviews. The brand can be influenced by customer reviews. If people realize that like people are reading the reviews and it's negative, definitely you have it. Then how you interact with your people, like your target on social media, is also very, very critical. Then influencer opinions are also there. Influencers can even they can speak positive about you or they can speak also negative about you. Then your own behavior, corporate behavior. The hospital say they provide immediate care, and you go there and you sit there from morning and it's 12 and nobody has even attended to you. That is your own behavior. Then the way you respond to also crisis is very, very critical. Something has happened. How do you respond to it? Is very, very critical. With corporate behavior, let me give you one example. Do you think they say they've given license back to Group Indum? Okay, we heard that, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you think it will be easy for them to operate the business?
Yeah, it will be very
So
difficult.
it's going to be very difficult because now you have
They have to start afresh.
customers. You have customers you've not settled. The moment you open the company, they are all coming for their money, and I don't know if he has money down to do that kind of payment. So you have to,
Okay.
and then the license they gave him savings and loan, not a bank. So he's
But
going to find it difficult.
how many of you are prepared to, if it is operational, you are prepared to put your money there?
No, I'm not sure. I had an account there. I'm not ready.
So you
Because
see,
it can go back.
their own corporate behavior has created that mess. And you have account there, you know, because I taught some of the branch managers in our school here. In those days that we ran the Cash Hero program, there are some that you get SMS alert that your salary has been paid, but you go to any other ATM, you cannot withdraw money because the interbank system has been not been trustworthy in terms of obligations in such a way that all the bank's ATM tries to disable them from the central payment system. So when you read the narrative concerning even what Bank of Ghana is saying, you took the money from Ghana and you go to California or whatever to open a bank there or something. So your own corporate behavior is what has created the problem. Government will come in to save depositors, but if I'm a depositor, do you think I'll go back to the place? Certainly not, because of what experience. So experiences are very, very important. Especially when it comes to online. Now that we have a viral system in place, multiple platforms, people will go in there and say a whole lot of a whole negative reviews about you, and you can never get on your feet. So we will all deal with the fun first, but we marketers know that the journey is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all, especially when they used to spread all over. You will get to certain villages where people prepare their prepared to put their money underneath their bed than to just go and give it to that particular facility. So that is how it is. It is very, that's why I always say that we have to be always careful. If you are good marketers, we have to be careful about reputation issues. So organizations should actively manage customer feedback, respond quickly to complaints, acknowledge customer concerns, encourage positive reviews, and maintain professionalism. Learn from customer criticisms. Don't get angry. You have to learn from it. Like there are some people who make a counter argument that it is not always that the customer is right. But marketers put that in there because we think that any attempt to have a negative interaction about the customer, there's threat of the business future. So we need to be careful. Especially when you are using the data apps and they send a message and it takes forever, they will not be happy. So acknowledge the customer consent, because the customer is the one, he is the key, he is the one giving you survival. So when he raises concerns, like throw it under the positive reviews. And when they see you, so social media introduction to crisis management. Crises are negative viral posts, product failures, data breaches, and what controversies. These are issues that are related to what? Crisis. And in our system here, crises are like negative news move faster than the positive ones. So when we say we are in crisis, we need to manage it. And crisis management typically involves crisis prevention. That's the first. Just like, I remember, I will not mention the name of the school, but I went to visit the VC and there was an exam and there was this gentleman who came and he said, oh, today the invigilation has been good because it caught about 3 or 4 people with foreign material in the exam. Then I asked him, so what was your role as an invigilator? I've been able to kite them. I said, no. Your role is what? Prevention. So you should have, first of all, have a mechanism to prevent the people from entering the exam hall with those materials. So you failed. You have not done anything like, to me, you just want to praise yourself that you've been able to catch somebody with foreign material. But that's not a sense of invigilation. Invigilation is to maintain calm and all those. So crisis, you don't say crisis management is about first, we have to get the crisis. No, you need to prevent it. That's the first thing. You prevent it before it happens. Then the situation where it's not like you didn't prevent it. The second thing is crisis identification. You have to identify what the crisis is and define it properly. The immediate response also ought to be done. And public communication is another stage. Then finally, recovery and evaluation. I think there was an incident here where a police officer beat a woman and it went viral. I think
It's
it
a
was a
military.
microfinance
It's
loan.
it is a
You said,
military officer at Burma camp pharmacy shop.
oh no, not that one. I'm talking about the older one, the one that a lady went to withdraw her money from, I think, savings and loans or so, and she
It's a
was
police
beaten.
officer. Police officer. A police officer.
situation because the whole individuals took interest in the matter. And the company have to struggle because there were people who were even saying that they didn't know the company has got a PR unit. And some of these things, when it happens, the time it takes for you to respond, also read meaning into it in terms of crisis. Because it's like more of a crisis meeting. Hello.
Hello, sir. We lost you, sir.
Yeah. That is why I'm even trying to see whether I'm back because my system went off. The net has not been stable at all. That is for the past, I think, 4 days. It's not anything to write to about. So, like I said, you need to have a response to that effect, and the response ought to be you have to have a crisis meeting before you go and respond. In Ghana, what I've realized is that when the media call, everybody's in the hurry to tell them something. And sometimes in order to do that, you compound the problem. So make sure that your public communication is well spot on who should lead the communication. Not everybody also saying something, no. And recovery and evaluation is one of the key things that we have to know in terms of crisis management. So effective crisis communication should be transparent. Don't hide the fact. It should be timely. Like I said, don't also stay too long before you respond. And you have to be honest about the situation. Honesty is the key because when the consumer or the affected party realize that you are very honest, sometimes they will kind of give accept whatever apology or whatever remedies that you have. Then you have to be empathic. Empathy is one of the key. Put yourself in the shoes of those that have been affected. Then you have to be consistent. Don't just say things today, then tomorrow you change your mouth. It doesn't bring about honesty. It doesn't bring about integrity. And therefore, it creates quite a lot of problems for you. The organization to avoid ignoring or deleting legitimate customer concern. Like the customer has concern about certain happenings with your product functionality. Instead of you to deal with it, you delete it because you don't want other customers to see. You are compounding the situation because it will take you to another platform that you have no control. And that will be your challenge. So what are the common digital crises? Digital marketing crisis that the offensive advertising can create a problem. Customer service failures can also create a problem for you. Then misinformation scandals can also create a problem. then employee misconduct, like example I gave you concerning the police officer who is more or less a third party, but because the corporate ethics wasn't that clear, he decided that he is like more or less a third party and therefore decide what to do at the company premises, and affected the company very well. I don't even know whether based on that issue they are still in existence. I don't know. So some of this is then cybersecurity breaches are also very important. Your data is out there, it worries people. Or you buy an item and the next time your card or your payment system has been hacked. All this can have a worsening effect on you. So poor response can also worsen the reputation. Something has happened, admit it that this has happened. Then you should be able to tell us steps you are going to use in addressing it, than just you trying to just ignore it. So how do we track social listening? What are the social listening tools that we can use? Listening tools will help firms automate monitoring and analysis activities. The function is what we have what called mention tracking, sentiment analysis, trend detection, and competitor monitoring. The reporting dashboard. The dashboard will actually tell, it projects the entire data in the form of a model data to know how many people have this sentiment and how many people does not. So sentiment analysis could be there, we will know it, and we will be able to get that. And these are the softwares that is used to deal with that. Use tools that can be used. Like I always mention, the tools keep on coming in. So you just have to just know the one that is up, like more modern, then you use it as you move on. So in wrapping up, I will look at dashboard reporting in social listening. And dashboard provide what we call representation of online conversation and sentiment trends. So dashboard metrics will actually include volume of mentions, how many people are mentioning our product, sentiment trend, engagement rate, how many people are engaging us, asking questions, or even clicking on the link. Then trending topics, what are the key topics that they are talking about? These are issues that we have to look at and be able to address. So trend forecasting will involve predicting future markets and consumer development using social data. So, like I said, the conversation, I gave you an example about the automobile industry, anticipates customer preference based on maybe purchasing power capability, and also identify emerging opportunities. People are using different kind of approach or finding even new uses for our products. We need to look at that, then adapt marketing strategies. Marketing strategies are not supposed to be static. If our payment mechanism used to be maybe 30-day credit, and now the competition is talking about 60 days, we need to talk about it and see how best we'll be able to also respond. If we don't adapt, then we remain rigid in our strategy. There is something we call strategy wear out, or strategic drift. That means the strategy has lost its purpose and therefore it cannot ensure the survival of the organization. So always we shouldn't be rigid. We have to be flexible so that we can adapt to suit the situation as they unfold. Then also reduce strategic uncertainty. If we are not certain, that means your strategy has got issues, so you have to look at it again. And predictive analytics, trends, and trend analysis. When we say trend analysis, what are we saying? What is the current trend in the market? Are the people all buying blue color? If they are buying color related, like which is blue, we know that is the trend. So we don't see, as for us, yellow is whatever we want. we have to forecast the demand based on the trend. Maybe the economic happenings in the country can also tell you the trend. Consumer trend prediction, campaign performance forecasting, and customer churn prediction. When we say customer churn prediction, how many customers are leaving the brand? How many customers are leaving our brand? If we realize that the conversation in terms of sentiment has become so wild, then it simply means that we are going to face situation of customers leaving the brand. So always we need to be careful about that. So when we say we are forecasting, in forecasting, sorry. Now, AI and automation, that is, in this current situation we find ourselves, a lot of things are automated. Like those who do simple descriptive statistics in terms of descriptive quantitative study. When you use even Google Form to collect your data, you don't need anybody to do any serious analysis. If it's a simple kind of analysis, the system will do it for you, and you can leave the entire data at the backlink, and it give you all the percentages and pie chart and all those things. So AI is doing quite a lot for us. Real-time monitoring is there. Automated sentiment detection is also there, because there's quite even some companies have got chatbot that will help you in doing that. And when it is integrated, it can ask you questions and know, like when you raise your tone, it brings that, no, there is like some negative sentiment coming in, then you will be able to that. Then predictive recommendations are also there. Sorry. So prediction is one of the key things that will happen and will continue to happen in our environment. So with the case example, Starbucks social listening strategy, they use social listening to monitor customer experience and product feedback. They monitor customer conversations, analyze product sentiment that the customers are putting online, and responding quickly to complaints, identifying trending consumer preferences. So the outcome is that to improve customer engagement and brand loyalty. When customers are engaged, they become brand loyal. If they are not engaged, they are not loyal to you, because engagement is what brings about what we call the seamless experience that we have. So based on the future trends in social listening, emerging trends will include AI-powered emotional analytics, real-time predictive insight, and voice and video sentiment analysis. What are they saying? Because when I, for example, when I look, like go to maybe our enough company social media handles, and people are talking about something, their voice and the tone will be able to know whether there's a danger somewhere that we need to address. So this AI-powered software will continue to model our life, and sometimes we say we will be saying that, oh, the AI is to buy, it has come to stay with us, and it will continue to do a lot for us. If you like, just give AI command and tell the AI to do a CV for you. The type of CV AI can give you, you will be amazed that if it were to be you, you will not even write that. So you just have to look at it, pick whatever you want in there to improve whatever you have, and that's it. It has come to stay and it will continue to stay with us. Any question, please? Do we understand it?
Yes, we do, sir.
Okay, so we have to quickly kind of look at something, and we need to look at something, then we will be done for the day. Let's quickly look at ethics on social media. But let me just give you a bit of a break. Then we will just, I think we'll use 12 minutes to finish up with that. Okay, so let's break for a while, then we come back.
Okay, sir.
And so you can get some water to drink and all those things.
Okay.
All right. So what time are we coming back? I think the break
Sir, 4
shouldn't be that
p.m.
long.
4
4
p.m.
p.m. Okay. That is fine.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so let's quickly wrap up this one. These are things that we talk about all the time. And I know that other courses are talking, have spoken about this, because when it comes to online behavior, the course is digital marketing, and therefore everything that we are doing is just cut across. So some of these things are it's already covered by some other lectures, but we also need to appreciate from our standpoint. So we are looking at ethics and legal consideration in social media marketing. Once we are saying that we have to be in digital space, there must be some ethics associated with it. And what we need to realize is that whatever we say or our actions transcend beyond boundaries. And if our actions transcend beyond boundaries, then what it simply means is that we need to be mindful about certain things that we do, because the law could catch up with us. Now we hear of these cybersecurity laws and other things that is happening now, and people being arrested based on even the comments they make. So we all need to be careful, because as a company, remember, individual can afford to destroy his or her image. It is his image or her image, and therefore it is not the only primary concern is maybe friends and families. Product availability, but if it is no more. Likewise, also, there are various stakeholders, including maybe shareholders, who will also not get any dividend, because at the end of the day, like the shareholder cannot get dividends, because at the end of the day, the company has folded up. So it is always important that data ethics and responsible marketing becomes the key, and also privacy is one of the key things. Data protection laws are very important. Copyright and intellectual property. You don't pick people's things that just dump it there without acknowledging the source. It is unethical. The influencer ethics and misinformation are all part of the things that out within this digital space. So it is important for us to understand and work around it. So what it is that today, like this second lecture, we will look at ethical principles in social media. Then we understand the privacy and Ghanaian data protection laws, then evaluate copyrights and IP issues, then analyze misinformation and compliance challenges that will also hit us within that concept. Social media. One is you are holding a corporate handle, and therefore you have to be responsible the way you communicate. If you talk to customers anyhow, the business is going down the drain, and you will be held accountable for it. Like me, in that case, maybe it's just employment that you lose, because if you have said something that are just killing the brand image, the company can sue you anyway, but in most cases, in the Africa context, they will just let you go. And even let's look at the traditional broadcasting space, because this is about communication. Gary Lineker was the one doing I think BBC 24 as Match of the Day program, and made mention of it, like he used certain phrases that are considered racist, and therefore he has to go. We have instances where we have top-notch broadcasters who have actually left the scene because of what they said. So responsible communication is very, very important. If in other jurisdictions, when you go on that tangent, you go. In Ghana, people can say whatever they want to say, and they are still at to post because they themselves don't have ethics and they are not ashamed of whatever they are saying. But if you really value your standard, when you do something and realize that that is not appropriate, you have to do the needful by resigning and just leave the space. So responsible communication is one of the key things, and we as digital marketing students, we don't have to overlook that in our life. The respect for consumer rights is key, as well as transparency and accountability. The type of advert that you send out there should be able to tell your target audience that it is doing what you promised that it will do. If not, it is not ethical. And if it's about products like health-related advertising, if you don't take it, the FDA will come after you. The respect for consumer rights, don't invade people's privacy. If it is a platform that is the most acceptable one, and that is the right one to use, don't go and find another way to get the consumer whilst you are, they say you are invading the person's privacy. And intrusion is not part of responsible communication. Then transparency and accountability is key. If the celebrity is being paid for, let the audience know that this is what a high kind of job, that is the transparency. But don't just say that the celebrity is just helping us because he loves our product, meanwhile, or he likes our product. But that is not the case. There must be some accountability. But whoever is given opportunity also have them, it goes with a lot of accountability. So responsible digital marketing should be truthful in advertising, respect for privacy, transparency in sponsorship. Like I said, if Mike Lassian is advertising for us, we need to make it clear. It's not like in his own volition. If it's a contract, it's a contract. Then avoidance of what manipulative tactics is also key. Don't manipulate people in social media, especially fake news when it is not appropriate. Then privacy and data protection in Ghana. What do we see here? Protection of personal data and the Ghana Data Protection Act, 2012 Act. 843 is that there is each and every one is entitled for some sort of protection of his data. In this country, what I've realized is that people like sharing information because I think they see it as fun. In most cases, in other countries, you hardly see that. You hardly even see somebody's family on social media. But there are some people here, whatever they eat, they will come and show it. I don't know whether they're fan of it, but to some of us who understand the implication of some of these things, you don't see. So consumer consent and control is very, very important. Data security and cyber security issues are there. We all know what is happening now. When they say data cyber security laws are being passed, and therefore people are even complaining about the fact that when you say something that you're not supposed to say, you are picked up and all those things. So you need to understand some of these things, and also because you want to know the activity of the person on the online space, most of the sites is embedded with cookies. cookies are just some kind of they are some kind of softwares that will help to track what your interests are. Besides, the next time they have something of your interest, they will be able to send it. In cookies now, the cyber laws is saying that when you want to have cookies, you have to give the person option. Transparency and accountability. And also it's enforced by the Data Protection Commission of Ghana. So that is what, don't say, oh, I don't know. There is nothing like ignorance when it comes to the law. So always make sure that you are not caught up with it, because when you are caught up with it, so that it tarnishes the image of the organization and can also affect the brand reputation that, oh, these people, even when you ask them to, when they ask you to fill a common form, they give your data to almost everybody. And now they are targeting you left, right, center on things that are of highly relevance to you. So always we need to be able to get that. Then consumer rights and the Ghana data protection law is that you have right to access personal data. That is our right. Right to correction of what inaccurate data. Then right to prevent unauthorized processing, and right to data protection and privacy. So right to access personal data. When you collect my data, I have a right to also assess what type of data you have on me. It is very, very important. It is my right. And also where I go through it and I realize that maybe my name is not spelled correctly, or there is some inaccuracy in maybe my hometown or date of birth, I have the right for you to correct it. So that is what it is. It's a right that I have. Right to also prevent unauthorized processing. I don't want my data to go anywhere, just end with the transaction. And we are now giving it to other people or processing it for other usage. I have the right to stop you, or I can even sue you for that. Then right to data protection and privacy. Whatever you have, it should be between me and you, and don't go and give the data out like that. Then there's a copyright and intellectual property is also one of the key concerns now, because there's at the digital space, we have quite a lot of information out there, and people populate database with all sorts of information. In some cases, you need to acknowledge the source. So if, let's look at what the public broadcasters do. Assuming there's an event in Buckingham Palace and other media houses are there, if let's say GTV is taking the feed from BBC, they acknowledge the source on the screen. So that maybe courtesy of BBC, that's where they are getting that information from. So that you don't present the information like as if it is your own. It's the same thing that we do in academia. You don't write like you are writing your thesis and there is no reference in it. Doesn't mean that everything is coming from you and nobody else. Once you are mentioning somebody's theory, you need to acknowledge the source. So copyrights are very, very important. And sometimes to like in trade marketing, trademarks are very important. Likewise, patent. They are all things that when it is patented, you cannot use it. Because they have exclusive right to use that, and therefore it is under their name. So like you don't produce cola drink and you call it Coca-Cola. Cola is a generic name, you can use that, but Coca belongs to somebody. And therefore, you don't have any right to use it. Once you decide to use it, on your website that this is your drink and you are not the one own the brand, you will be penalized for that. So intellectual properties are very good, and also you have to know that you prevent unauthorized use. If whatever you said, people just misconstrue it and they are using it for their personal gains, you need to find a way to address that. So we have quite a lot of laws. Data Protection Act 2012 is there. Electronic Transaction Act is also there. The Consumer Protection and Advertising Standards, Advertising Association of Ghana have that in mind, and therefore they always call people to order. The intellectual property and copyright laws are something that we all need to read about. The National Communication Authority guidelines are also part of it because they can even take your platform from you. Like let's say TikTok, for example, they have got their own guidelines. So when you go in there and whatever you present is outside their guidelines, they take the account from you. And you cannot do anything about it because per their laws, even though it is your account, they own the platform. And therefore they have every right to act in a way that is what will ensure their reputation is is intact. They will not tolerate anybody coming there to degrade whatever they see as part of their guidelines. They will not agree to that and they will let you go. Do we understand it, please? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Are
sir.
people sleeping?
Hello,
Yes, sir.
sir. Sir, no, the network, but we still can hear you.
Okay.
So we are trying our best to understand.
And these are laws that you have to read. Is just that you need to be mindful about it when you are engaging in any online activity. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. But I think there are some bypass you can use to bypass this kind of laws. The example is the VPN.
No, but you see, yes, you can use that, but when you are caught, that one is a deliberate, like a deliberate kind of breaking the law. Is that not the case?
It is. It is. It is.
Yeah. So why do you are marketing a product that you want to build brand reputation? Not what the individual want to do with your life, right? So brand reputation, and you go and do things that when you are flagged, when they red flag you, it's more or less the brand is gone. Who will do that? I hope you understand me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you have to actually act ethically, and that is what I will promote. But bypassing things in order to break a law, that is not in my DNA. So we need to be able to understand that. And what I was talking about, like influencer marketing ethics, also disclosure for sponsored content. If we are sponsoring the person to say something, like to say something on our behalf, let us be known. Don't say, oh, they love our brand. This is not ethical because a contract. So the person knows that this is what it is. And it becomes a challenge when the issue come up. Sometimes when you deceive the public, you will never come back to the limelight again, depending on the nature. Do you remember this music group, Mini Vanilli?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you heard the story, right?
Sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
They were not the real people singing.
yeah. And when that issue came up, that was the end. They couldn't like come back again because they are not singers. And that aside, there was public outcry because some of them have made them think was only for them to know that they are like misleading them. Because when even the real director and the producer realize that the heat is coming, he decided to do the press conference and said that all the concert that you see is not these people singing. We program it and they will come and just behave like as if they are the ones singing. And that one is deceiving the public. It's misleading kind of approach. And you are gone. So always we need to be careful. Unless you don't like your brand. But if you like the brand and you want to build an empire with the brand, Apple will not do that. Nobody will do that. They will use the ethics because when they look at the Microsoft and Apple and co, look at how hefty fines that is given to them when they even break competition laws. We all hear it, we all read it. So always we have to make sure that proper thing is done. Because if you do the proper thing, you stay longer than try to bypass the way. Because if you bypass the way, you are always checking about who is looking upon your shoulder. So false and misleading online content is also very, very important. You don't have to do that, and its impact trust and reputation and requires fact-checking and monitoring. So misinformation and fake news are there. You look at even when Trump was in power first, the first time he accused some media houses of being fake news. And they don't take it light because it's a brand that they need to protect. So if you are saying things, a whole president is saying that they have fake news, they need to fight back. They don't care who you are. They will fight back because you are killing what? A generational business, which they will not sit down for it to happen, especially if they know they are 100% aware that that's not what they are doing. Yeah, so that is what algorithmic bias also, like that one, we've talked about it in one of our previous lectures, not this model, but the other one, that is the algorithm that brings about some of it exposes you to what content you want to watch. And so now people pay in such a way that these are the one coming up all the time. It is what being biased, or maybe the consumer is being manipulated to think that that is the issue. All these are critical issues that we have to get it. That and ethics of AI and algorithms are very also critical because it can just towards one particular brand and the other. And if it lacks what we call transparency, it also doesn't help. So in a nutshell, what I would say is that ethics and legality are central to digital marketing, and Ghanaian data protection laws protect consumers. Ethical marketing builds trust. So that is what we have to do. Then what we can say is that how can, in the question, we say how can firms balance personalization with privacy? Very debatable issue. Because personalization and privacy, in some cases, it's a thin line, but you need to make sure you balance, else you find yourself in trouble. Well, technically, we will end the class here for today. It has been a very long class, but it will also give us in a very good shape so that our face-to-face class become less complex for us, and we can have quite a couple of discussions in there. So my assignment is next week. Ken, you know that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so assignment to be in the PDF format. Send all of them to Ken, then I will get it. And
Okay, sir.
I've also realized that some of you have not registered. So up to now, I've not been able to upload your results.
Then please, how was our results? Did we all pass?
You have that one, you know you pass because you did well. Or
Thank
you
you,
don't
sir.
trust yourself.
We trust ourselves. It's not easy to go to school
Yes,
once working.
my paper when you start failing, then you are in for trouble because make things so like what do I call it? I try to make things. I try to. All right.
So I thought the
So
registration
Hello,
is
sir.
automatic.
Sir, please, we can't hear you.
you said you thought the. No, what I'm
The
saying is that
registration is
I've taught you
automatic.
before, so you know that I always make people feel comfortable.
Yes,
That's what I
please.
said. Yeah. And that the registration is not automatic. You need to register because if you don't register, it's a problem in there. And now, because we have first semester, second semester combined, it's a bit complex for the lecturer.
Okay.
So please try and register.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, please. Sir, so those who have registered, can theirs be uploaded or?
No, he will load all of us together.
No, for loading is about registration. The file is just a master file. So once I populate the database, whoever is registered, the
Okay,
system
sir.
will tell you.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
That one is there's certain some of the meetings who is beyond you because the course is a second semester course. Do we have to wait for first semester people to get second semester before? It's a whole lot of complex issues that we need to deal with as those managing the program. So that one will be resolved, but you need to register. But if you don't register, I'm helpless. And if your file is with me, why am I keeping the file? Because there's a repository for the file. And that is when you register, it is captured. So let's make sure we register because some of the schools, if you don't register, they will let you defer the course. They have certain time frame. GCTU, I think we have a problem with registration because in most cases, there are students who come to school, they pay their school fees and they refuse to register the courses. And that's why we have a lot of resource issues. So please, try.
Okay, sir.
Because even one of your resources, so I will teach all of you to do that. Okay.
Okay, sir. All right, that's fine.
All right. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. So for the exams, the only thing you have to do for me is to register. The rest is with me. It's no problem. Okay.
Keeps going off, on and off. Hello, sir.
We'll see you. All right.
Okay, sir. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, bye.